Well, we're in Honolulu, Waikiki area at Alawai Harbor. Did all of our stuff. There were a ton of things you had to do to get checked in here. We had to do an inspection. We had to go drive the boat around to prove that it moved. All that good stuff.
The state harbor.
The state harbor. It was very government-like.
Yeah, I think the marinas require like full surveys and everything like that. So, and I guess we're in a temporary permit here. There's 2 to 3 year wait list apparently to
get a slip.
To get a slip here. So temporary means we have to pay in person every 15 days. We've got a limit of 120 days per year that we're allowed to even be here.
Here, yep. But it's relatively affordable compared to what it could be, so that's good.
It's about $15, no,
$18 a day.
$18.50 a day. That's for a 50-foot slip, right?
50-foot slip that we're in, yeah.
And it's a nice marine. Well, haven't used the facilities. I don't think the facilities would be too nice, but the docks are decent.
Docks are decent. It's right kind of on the edge of Waikiki is on one side, Honolulu's on the other side. So you're nice and close to everything.
Which is kind of bad, I think. I mean, you're right in the heart of like the tourist area, which makes everything very expensive.
It does.
But we're not super close still to. If we move down one more harbour, we'd be a little bit closer to the marine supplies, the West Marines, the Home Depot hardware stores, and that sort of stuff.
All that good stuff, yeah. But we've had a bit of a change of plans. As you might know, it's kind of getting towards the end of the season when we can actually cross. It's a good time to cross from Hawaii back to the mainland. Getting close to fall and winter and all that good stuff. So we decided we're going to leave the boat here for the winter. Been missing Varuna a bit.
So we may have made a bad decision.
Not a bad decision, just not the right decision
not the correct
for
decision.
us.
Yeah, well that doesn't make that a bad decision. No,
yes,
it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, well we're not sure. Basically, neither of us feel comfortable right now to take this boat across the Pacific to the mainland. Our confidence is lacking due to some more work that we need to put into the boat than we thought we would have to. Structurally, it's a sound boat. Everything is good about it. We've just been feeling a little bit down. We've had second thoughts about the boat in the first place. We wanted to make sure that we could end up with a boat, no matter what. All the boats we were looking at and the price points we were looking at and offering at, we're building in a buffer so that we did kind of have an out. And one of those outs would be to sell this vessel in Oahu on the mainland or do it up and continue cruising it. Being that this is the end of the season, like Hillary said, we don't feel comfortable right now crossing the Pacific with it. Although I think that would be perfectly fine. We've just been a little bit down on that, and we're trying not to be down on it, and we're missing Varuna.
Yeah, it's a great boat. It's an awesome boat. We've been really impressed with the way she handles, both under power. We've driven around the marina here a ton, thanks to all their crazy requirements.
It's a great cruising boat. It's the sails balance. It balances beautifully under sail.
When we sailed, it balanced really well under sail. We think, I don't know, maybe we went a bit too big. We were never looking in this size range initially.
No, I think we did go too big because we didn't want this big. We specifically tried to stay away from that. And for somehow we kept dropping the ball. We're not perfect. And even though we've been going through and been pretty diligent with our search, it's still tough when we've been pushing it pretty hard and pretty fast. And I think we let our guard down on this last one and we didn't catch ourselves. I think because everything was so rushed at the end that we did not take a second look or a second think about it, I guess.
To see if this is what we really wanted and what we would really be happy with.
And it made us appreciate Varuna even more. Even though we knew a bigger boat would be more to handle, somehow we went to a 48 foot, which is quite a huge step up. And it's not that we can't handle it, not that we don't like it. We just don't know. So we had a few decisions to make when we got here to Oahu. We knew Oahu was going to be a much bigger port and a good place if we did want to sell and move away from it, or if we wanted to do work on the boat here, which is a big reason why we came here, because there's a lot more marine parts here than Maui. There's nothing really on Maui, and to get everything to Maui is expensive in terms of getting it shipped, whereas a lot of that stuff is available here, right in Honolulu. It would have been a good jumping off point for us to move over to the Pacific and plan that, move across the Pacific to the mainland. The deal is today we're flying out back to the mainland, and our plan right now, although you can tell how much our plans change, but our plan is to go back down to Varuna, probably in the next week or two.
Yeah, we'll see.
Or less than 2 weeks, I would say.
We'll see how it goes here.
I mean, we're paying for 2 boats to be in slips right now. The money is tight. We knew that would be. But I don't know. I think we missed something. We missed something in terms of the overall big picture of having the 2 boats and the work it would take to get the work done. When we got Varuna was in amazing shape. And although we did some of our own modifications to it and added things to her, she was, for the most part, a really sound, beautiful boat, inside out. Whereas with this boat,
I think, all the stuff is sound. It's more cosmetic type stuff we want to do and conveniences that we want to add. But all that stuff costs money too.
Yeah, to make it comfortable. And because that stuff costs so much money here, the cost to live, the cost to eat here, the cost to bring in products is so much more than what we would get in the mainland. Our thought was, well, leave the boat here for the winter season, go back to Varuna and decide our path there, whether we're going to sail her north and sell her, or continue her south and sell her there if something comes about, or just continue sailing her. And then we can always come back here in the spring.
When it's a better time, if that's what we want to do, if we want to continue.
Right, and make the passage across to the mainland then with this boat. I guess we'll see.
Lots of options. You guys know us. We do crazy stuff. So
very crazy stuff. Right now,
we're what we're going to do.
Completely undecided on it. And I guess it's another chapter in this whole boat search thing. And I think it'll be good in the end, because it'll bring it around to probably what a lot of people have. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that comment on the smaller to bigger boat thing. I think that's probably a real thing. That's definitely a part of this. We already said that we went probably much bigger than what we were planning. We did not want to go over that big jump, but we did, right? So we made that decision, and that could have been really the only bad decision we made, maybe, was going from a smaller boat to a very much larger boat when there might not have been the need for that. Maybe Varuna is the good boat, I think the more you think about it, it's like, although there was definite things we would have liked in the bigger boat, there is a lot of great things about Varuna and a lot of great things about staying on a smaller boat. Funny thing to bring all that around is, when we originally started our sailing journey, we were looking at boats, the very beginning. How big were we looking at?
The low 40-foot range.
Yeah, like mid-40s, I'd say. 43, 44.
Yeah.
And we, after a lot of convincing, especially me convincing Hillary, I think, because she really wanted, you probably originally wanted center cockpit, aft cabins type stuff, and hunters or something like that, But after a lot of convincing, and then Hillary also finally got the picture as well and realized it, and I'm sure more so once we got Varuna, was that maybe is not the best option to be cruising in, and keeping it smaller is going to help you go sooner. It's going to help you go farther on less money, or on the same amount of money, and you're really going to be able to cruise better. And that's what we've had the advantage of on Varuna. It's also probably what a number of you had warned us against when we started this boat search, and rightly so. We're not afraid to make mistakes, and it certainly has been
an interesting ride.
Yeah, and we'd be lying if we didn't say it's been a little bit disappointing at parts, and we've wondered how we got into this. But stuff happens, and we're going to continue on, and we know we've got a lot of people out there that support us.
Yeah, we want to keep going. We don't want to be sitting around not sailing.
And I think most of you out there will get it. It's probably more of a learning opportunity. It's more of a learning opportunity for everyone to learn from our mistakes. And even though we had people tell us, we'll just be another one adding to the list of people saying, hey, you don't need to go bigger.
No.
necessarily, and you don't need to go all over the place and, you know, whatever else. But anyway, I don't know what else to say.
So we're packing up here. We got a flight to catch tonight back to the mainland. We'll see where we go from there.
What we've got is, we've got a broker, and he's going to look after the boat while we're gone for the winter season. He's going to put it up and see if it sells. We're not really in that big of a rush if it sells. We do know we just don't want to be here in Hawaii for the winter season. It's extremely expensive compared to where we came from, living in Mexico for the last couple of years, right? So it's very expensive from a living standpoint, food, marina slips, all that sort of stuff. So we'd like to get back to sailing and get on Varuna at least. It doesn't necessarily mean we're done with our boat search. We had so much fun looking at boats. And we have a boat to look at when we land in San Francisco.
We do.
This weekend. We're going to go look at Freya 39. It's a boat we really like.
And there's a few available in California that we're potentially interested in. But
few
we're not going to be
available.
3 boat owners, hopefully.
No, it's same boat that Pam and Andy Wall have. And it's a great boat. It's in links to Australia, so that's kind of cool. It's a full keel. It's smaller, 39 feet. But it may not be much bigger than Varuna, really. So we're not really, right now, we're kind of taking a back seat to the boat shopping.
Yep.
But that is a boat that was on our list before we purchased this even. We had been working on trying to get to see a couple of these Freya 39s, and things just didn't line up. And it will now, so we'll take a look at it at least.
Yeah.
We're going to leave Makara here in the hands of a capable broker. Who would have thought that we're now trusted a broker? He seems like a nice bloke though, and he's going to take care of Makara for us while we're gone. The slip should be taken care of here. It's in a pretty decent little place.
Yep, nice and protected here from any kind of weather, so no worries about that. Yeah, we'll see you guys back on the mainland.
What are we doing today?
Packing up, getting the last of the stuff cleaned off the boat here.
Since we bought the boat, we've been cleaning it and trying to make it,
oh my gosh,
presentable. It was quite messy.
Yeah, it's come a long way since we got it. It was pretty bad, but yeah, we're just trying to get the last of the stuff off there today, get our stuff packed up, all that good stuff.
Can I say that we found that the previous owners was slightly distrustful. We were a little bit annoyed by the constant barrage of, oh woe is me, how much we were paying for this boat, they paid so much more, which was really kind of a BS story. So that's kind of something that, I don't know, that really irked me a bit, that while you were here, it was non-stop complaints about to friends and people in front of you and everything about, oh my god, we shouldn't ask any questions because we're getting the boat for a great price and they paid so much more for it, and none of that was true. So just don't trust people. Do your own research, don't get emotionally attached to something. So we've got some bags here, just everything up on deck. Things we're going to throw out, trying to clean out everything below.
Thanks so much for watching, and a big thanks to our patron Adrift crew. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and leave a comment. Until next time, aloha!